article actually about vibration and supporting complex learners using vibration to come to that point of orgasm.
Hello. Well, if I were an unscrupulous purveyor of clickbait, this video would have been entitled "Head Teacher in Scotland Wants to Provide Vibrators to Pupils." But that wouldn't quite be fair. But it's not that far off. Let's see. Now, Education Scotland had blocked us on Twitter, but I became aware that they were running a training session online, a sort of webinar, about sex education resources for pupils with special needs. So I thought that'd be interesting, because the RSHP.Scot website has included images for use with pupils with special needs, but they're password protected. They claim it's because they don't want people seeing them and misinterpreting them or whatever. I think that's not actually the reason. And if you've got pupils looking for sort of sexually explicit material online, they're not going to go to the RSHP.Scot website, are they? There's plenty of other places they could go. I think the real reason they protect them with a password is to stop people like me, or maybe more likely me, looking at them, publicising them, and then actually making the public aware of what's being used in schools. But anyway, these things are password protected. So when there's this training going on, I thought I'll sign up and go along and just see if we can learn a bit more about the programme designed for special needs pupils. So I signed up with my real name, and they sent me the link for it. But when I tried to go to it, I clicked on the link, Microsoft Teams, into the waiting room. They're aware that you're waiting, and then access denied. I tried about 6 times. They just wouldn't let me in, basically. And I'm pretty sure they recognise my name, and they want to keep what's going on in schools secret from me, which is completely wrong. No matter how much of a critic I am of what's going on in schools in this regard, they should not be trying to keep it secret. They should be open about the training that's been provided to teachers. So, not one to despair. Instead of trying on my PC, I tried on my phone. I clicked the link on my phone, and lo and behold, it works. I was in. Now, I'm going to play some recordings of what went on. Maybe Education Scotland, they'll say, "Oh, that's not right, that's not right, you shouldn't be sharing that, that's confidential." It's not confidential. This is training to teachers. Okay, that's in the public interest. People need to know how teachers have been trained and what the thinking is that's been applied in schools in Scotland. So here we go.
Thank you, Colin. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. My name's Jackie Urquhart. I'm the head teacher at Roslin School. It's not easy, and I was happy in my little comfort zone doing my body and consent, but actually having worked with Colin in this group round about the packs, and really thinking about the importance of this pack, it was really important for us then to pilot it.
So the Colin mentioned there is Colin Morrison, the boss man of the RSHP.Scot resources. He's the one who wrote a PhD thesis that included discussion of breaking down the barriers between childhood and sexuality. There'll be a link to that video in the description and at the end of this one. So with his philosophy like that, he's at the centre of producing sex education resources, whereas myself, I'm having to sneak in under the radar because I'm sort of a pariah. Anyway, on we go.
In school, the messages around about masturbation, I think, are quite different. We want to redirect, we want to try and keep our kids and our young people busy, whereas at home, it's got a very different outcome, doesn't it? And the whole pack will take you through this bit about understanding complex learners and their right to have pleasure in their life. So
you can see the message here is basically masturbation should be discouraged at school, but encouraged at home. Now, when it comes to masturbation, there's a spectrum of opinions. Roughly speaking, Catholic teaching is that it's just wrong. It's not something that's helpful at all. Quite a few Muslims have the same view. Some people see it as more ambiguous. Maybe the fantasy element, the lust element to it might be problematic. Some people see it as morally neutral. Some people see it as having practical dangers in terms of addiction, distorting sexuality, etc. And some people just see it as a completely good thing. And the SNP view it as a completely good thing, so something that should be encouraged in schools to pupils. Whereas other people might think maybe it's something that should be discouraged, or there should be a more balanced approach to it. Now notice here, this head teacher says the pupils have got a right to have pleasure in their life. I mean, what sort of person would read that? The right to have pleasure in their life. and interpret that to mean sexual stimulation. It's a classic case of human rights language, just take it to mean whatever you want it to mean. So if pupils have a right to sexual pleasure, if everyone has a right to sexual pleasure, I mean, what next? We're going to end up with sort of state-funded prostitutes for people whose rights are not being fulfilled? Who knows? Let's carry on.
So for me, we sat down and we looked at the questions round about what are the important questions to answer about home and school, and that's what this little chart's about. So we think, let's talk to our families about the stimulus that leads to arousal. Let's talk to them about where and when that can be accessed. Can we reduce or remove it at certain times of the day? Does it matter who's interacting with that young person? And I think, like you, I have staff who work with certain young people, be it gender or attraction, that can cause arousal where other staff's touch doesn't. How do we redirect when we need to? Can we alter the intensity of the arousing factors? So things like massage, if it's getting arousing, can we change the type of massage and the type of pressure that we're giving so that it's not as arousing?
Massage. This is obviously talking about staff massaging pupils. Now, a couple of years ago, I went to the Scottish Learning Festival, and there were a couple of stalls with organisations, businesses basically, promoting massage within schools, getting pupils to massage each other, etc. And I said at the time, I didn't really think that was right. I think massage is just too intimate. It's crossing a boundary that shouldn't really be crossed in the educational setting. That was my view. But here, we're talking about massage of pupils by staff. And the head teacher is saying some massage results in sexual stimulation of pupils. Okay, that's a problem, she thinks. So what do they do about it? She suggests they should change the type of massage to make it less arousing. Less arousing. I think no. Just stop it completely. Do not do that at all. I would suggest maybe this is the reason why you don't have massage in the first place. But the suggestion that you just sort of change the technique to make it less arousing. I mean, what is going on here?
How do we establish